Hey guys, my name is Simpzy. How you all doing? Welcome back to some more Total War Rome 2. Here today on the channel, we're back on the Emperor edition of the game. We're playing on the DEI, Divide et Impera mod as the Roman Republic. This is episode 5. In today's episode, we're going to continue our conquest straight after the Siege of Carthage in the last episode. We will push down to Thapus now and take the city. We'll continue our conquests in Africa, and we could very well start up another front in Gaul. So, if you like the sound of that, feel free to leave the video a like, subscribe if you're new around here with notifications on. Let me know in the comments, feedback and suggestions for the series, tips and tricks, and where you'd like to expand and conquer. If you don't like Rome 2 or Rome or myself, for whatever reason, feel free to leave the dislike button. That's what it is there for. So we're still at war with Carthage. We have had a little bit of a uprising in Sicily, with Sicily coming back, but we'll be able to deal with them, that's fine. Hey, finally. Oh, so we haven't had them just yet. I thought we had access to some plebeian units, maybe. Anyway, the plebeian military reforms have now come through in the autumn. So now we can upgrade our units for additional upgrades. That's awesome. Additional bonuses, rather. Next up, we have Marian, and then we have Imperial. But we're about 40 turns in now. Okay. So, we need to deal with the Sicilians in a moment, but here is the Principes late. So there's the difference stat-wise. You're most welcome to pause and have a look. We're moving away from the spear variant to the sword and shield. So they've got a tremendous difference in their attack, which is great to see. So this is where we're going to be upgrading all of our early Principe units where we can. So now we're actually going to be, well, it's going to allow us to be more aggressive in sieges and probably take settlements that we couldn't before. Carthage have moved 2 full stacks up here, so we'll have to deal with them eventually. But that is fine for now. We'll continue to take territory in Africa. Okay, guys, welcome to the top of the turn. Research. What? How have we lost the resource there? Oh no. We've got a civil war. I wasn't even paying attention to that. What did it say? The plebeian class has broken away to start a rebellion. How big is it? We're only 40 turns in. So they've taken they've taken the island of Sicily. Oh my god. So we are the patrician class, of course. The equites and the nobility have stood with us, but we have a Roman civil war incredibly early on. A Roman civil war has erupted. Well, we've only got one man to deal with it. Quintus Aemilianus Pappus, consul of Rome, our faction leader and head of the house. We're going to have to fight against... Oh, they've only got one reformed unit there. That's right. Well, we'll quickly throw down this rebellion. I wonder if we destroy them, does that get rid of the... a plebeian class in Rome permanently? I don't know, let's do a quick save and a hard save. Alrighty. So, let's fight this one on the field. So, okay, I wasn't expecting this one today. I thought this episode would have been like, okay, we've managed to peace out with the Numidians, we've dealt with Carthage, and we'll be focusing on Thapus and the surrounding territory. But we have to deal with a Roman civil war. We're going to be fighting with our fellow men. Well, obviously, Rome was renowned from civil wars to Sulla to Caesar. So, this is our first time testing out our new plebeian reform units. Here is the Sicilian city on the outskirts there. Well, let's form up and match our brethren where we can. So, we currently have 5 units of Principes, 5 units of Latin. These are technically Brundisium Brutii infantry. 5 units of slingers, 4 units of cavalry, and ballista. Although we are a little bit depleted manpower-wise, this army with Consul Quintus Aemilianus Pappus, our faction leader, should be able to do it. So we're still under the consulship, 5 episodes in, 40 turns or so. We're under the consulship of Quintus Aemilianus Pappus and Medullinus Aemilianus Fullo, his adopted son and heir. The house of Aemilianus The patrician class of Aemilianus will rule Rome for the centuries. Okay, so looking at our formations, unfortunately the lesser infantry, the Italian British infantry here, doesn't have a disciplined formation. So that's going to change things up a bit. Okay, so basically they're not going to be able to get swarmed, surrounded, and fight to the last man. They can't really hold off between 5 to 6 units, which is a shame. So what I'm going to have to do, normally in the triple axis formation, which I'm invoking, and the checkered formation, I would have sort of more men towards the front. We're going to have to make things a little bit tighter, and basically have these guys as a reserve rank, because they're going to have to flank and rotate a lot more. Probably sort of more like the Hastati. So we'll move my skirmishers there. Try and make things look a tad nicer. There we go. Try and face them up, and we'll have these guys to pivot and flank this smaller army that's coming up. We've still got to deal with their larger reinforcements. So they only managed to secede the island of Sicily for us, which is a shame. Luckily I had an army here that was actually heading down to Africa, had been for quite some time. But here is our plebeian reformed infantry. Although we've been invoking plebeian tactics for quite some time, moving away from the earlier, but now we have official upgrades, which is fantastic to see. Here is Consul Quintus Aemilianus Pappus. His military log. He's renowned of destroying the Etruscans, destroying Pyrrhus of Epirus, throwing out the Greeks from the Italian peninsula, slaughtering elephants. He rides with elephant banners. Here's a legionary here, but that's interesting. Now I only just sort of noticed this then. If you can see the slight blue variant on shields and undergarments, I guess this is sort of the distinction of, because we're basically ethnically fighting the same people. You need to know who's on the same side, because the amount of friendly fire is crazy. I wonder if I think they did. I don't know how in antiquity they identified enemy combatants. The only like modern reference I can remember is, it's actually, I remember hearing it a lot in Band of Brothers when the Americans invaded Normandy. The code word in the night, to like, is it, you hear a rustle in the bushes and you don't know who's there, it was flash, thunder, flash, thunder. That was the code word. I think in the Pacific, I think it was Liberty. Liberty. And then you'd say back a code word. So I'm assuming the Romans had their own code words. I think they did. I can't remember off the top of my head. I think they also identified enemy combatants with ribbons and I guess just different colours. As you can see here, there's a lot of blue variants here. But my ballista are starting to bombard. The Roman civil war is off and away. I gotta love ballista in Rome too, because it essentially makes every single battle a defensive one, because they just try and close down the distance so quickly, even in Total War Attila. So the equites, the plebeian equites, are trying to charge forwards here. Further back we should be able to push for him, but I didn't expect this. Maybe because, so when the Civil War erupted, there are 4 major Roman classes. We chose to side and be the faction of the patricians. The nobilities, the equites, stood with us, maybe because we're giving them more military command. And I guess the plebeians we sort of left out a bit. Now, the reload speed of this ballista is actually beneficial. If it gets so close, I am actually more accurate with it than the AI. I say that, with it than the AI. So we'll try and bombard as many of these as possible. There we go. We're carving through them like carving a cake. It's weird, because sometimes... Whoa, 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 whoa. What is this? Sometimes the trajectory's off. Anyway, what I was saying is... so, it looked like there was like 300 Italian citizenry charging my equites there. They got caught. Yep, 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 yep. Oh, so they're actually pushing me on the right. I thought they would have been behind them, because that's where they are on the map. Can I get some more shots off here with my ballista? Oh, no. Right. That's it. Maybe swing around here and hit those guys that are carving down the hill. We might need to reform that second line there. Skirmishers try and... Yeah, pull up here. We need to... Yeah. Oh, God. They are hammering down that hill. And it's actually a 60-40 towards their favour. Because they... I can't remember the odds. I didn't remember the numerical odds. They might actually have it. We'll swing around and try and face those Italian citizenry. Keen and eager. So, my plebeian reformed, discipline invoked Principes are going to be fine. We just need to allow my skirmishers to continue on. They're not... Yeah, they didn't really take the initiative overly too well. Yeah, there's 200 men in that as citizenry. Like, they're very light. They're not going to do much damage. They just need to be pierced down. So here we go. Brother versus brother. Romulus versus Remus. The Romans once again are fighting in a civil war. Our general's under attack. That's fine because he managed to engage the civilians. And the plebeian class thought they could secede. Yeah, so what happens to this class? Do they get eradicated once they win? Maybe that's a cheesy tactic, like forcing civil wars so there's no one. For now, we still are the kingdom... So we're technically... Because in the new update, the diplomacy system in the Augustus system, you can change your... Technically, your kingdom, your empire. That's a hell of a shot there. We might have actually ripped through him there. Yeah, stop that cavalry unit from cycle charging. Not too bad of a couple of shots there. Get all my skirmishers to try and phase him out. If we can get the general army penalty, that'll be good. Yeah, so for this, so we are technically a republic. A reformed republic is more of a chieftain sort of thing. This is the options because each faction has different ones. We have oligarchy, I think, and empire. So it's still quite a long time away before we would come anywhere close to invoking the Roman Republic. And there are some okay benefits, but the Republic is actually not too bad. We're still managing to consolidate power essentially between the patrician class. We're essentially only dividing power between the House of Milianus. It's more of an authoritarian dictatorship. That's what's going on here, if I'm being completely honest in this campaign. And we're only allowing men of the House of Milianus to hold political consulships and stuff. So take it what you will. That's the only way to have a stable Rome in this. We can't afford the equites and the nobles to rise up, but if they do, they'll get crushed like the foolish plebeians. So we've managed to change the tide of battle here, but I didn't expect this. 40 turns in, is it common? Maybe I've just done a misplay. Maybe there was an event I didn't see or didn't catch up on. But we are carving up the Roman... Oh, what? Oh my god, speaking of what? Speaking of misplays, I didn't aim that at the... Oh, come off it, mate. Oh, far out, mate. You're having a go here. What? It's just like the timber and the woodwork. Oh, God. Ah, Kato! The engineer's screaming because it took him 6 months to make that... ballista. Oh, my God. But once we defeat this army, we're essentially wiping out the Sicilian garrison here. We've still got to deal with Syracuse, of course. If they recruit a couple of units, that might be a long, protracted siege. Because Syracuse and Sicily tend to be. But hey, you never know. But they put up a decent fight here, running down the hill. Crikey. It's nothing like a Simpzy campaign, where there's not crazy moments. Friendly fire on artillery and men. Cavalry getting surprised. I'm blown away that they actually tried to charge down that hill. Also, I think in DEI they've heavily reduced the line of sight mechanic. I think there's submods to fix that, but I wouldn't do it now. I wouldn't add mods during a campaign just in case we get a game file corruption. That's the last thing I want. But I think I remember reading there was a sub mod for that. But maybe it's more realistic. We didn't know they were there. We didn't have communication or line of sight. It probably just adds difficulty for me more than anything. Yeah, I thought they would be deploying right behind. That's crazy. Well, we've run out of ammunition with my ballista. That's fine. We'll let my skirmishers try and hit them. The general unit's now pushing back along with some Italian citizenry. But in today's episode that I thought we were dealing with Carthage, we had to deal with a Roman civil war. We were having problems in Sicily itself, that Syracuse essentially came back. But we'll deal with them. It's just because we're fighting on multiple fronts and... Well, we had units divided on multiple fronts. We weren't technically fighting. But now we're sort of consolidating on the Carthaginian campaign border, because it's going to be a lot harder than what I sort of thought and anticipated. Because technically they got so many vassals, that's the thing, man. And also logistical nightmare. Like, I think it takes, 2 turns to get to Carthage with an army and a navy from Sicily. And it's probably going to take, 3 to get to Corsica, 5 to get to Sardinia. So, we don't have the economical might and territory to fight just yet on multiple fronts. I'm still planning, once I'm comfortable enough in Africa, to push against the Gauls. But maybe I should go after the Hellenic Greeks. The territory's a lot more valuable. Now that we have plebeian reforms, it might be more beneficial. Should we go to Gaul or against Greece? Let me know. Yeah, so we're outnumbered by 400 there. We lost 600. They lost 2.6. Cavalry did alright. Same with the ballista. The skirmishers sort of performed a little bit better. I was not sort of manually clicking them, so that's sometimes a problem, because sometimes the AI takes the initiative and skirmishes out well. This time, not so much. But we've managed to crush the plebeian civil war uprising, and we could enslave the captives. There's only 441. Yeah, let's do that now. Let's start enslaving, because you can get a lot of money from selling slaves. So enslave them, and then we'll push further south against the defenders of the Senate. Is that what they're calling themselves? Why can't I move up here? Oh, that's why. That's because I haven't actually taken the city. That's what was blocking my movement zone here. I was like, why? I thought it was bugged. Right, I have to take the city. That's so strange. I thought I wiped out the garrison. I should be able to waltz in. Now, it's because we were so close to the zone of control. Anyway, we've taken half the island back. And we ran out of movement points. That's alright. We'll try and run them down at the top of the turn. Okay guys, welcome to the top of the turn. It's currently summer 268 BC. We're going to finish off this Roman civil war. And they're still dealing with rebellions as well. Alright. Rebellions, I'm not even too concerned with in this game. It does take a while. Like, really, you should stay in territories and convert them for quite some time. But yeah, overall, it takes like 10 or so turns. I like to be aggressive and embrace rebellions anyway, so it doesn't really bother me too much. Did that really make that much of a difference? Just that one unit? Really? Yeah, I want to try and get this Roman civil war over and done with as quickly as possible, because you get a lot of faction-wide debuffs. So, yeah, even though we lost a couple of Principes there and some Equites, which I don't like, losing those units...
Men yearn to be remembered, to make a mark on the world and rival the gods. Only the strong achieve immortality.
That's alright, got interrupted there by the Civil War ends. That's cool. I wanted to show that intro. Ah, yes, so even losing those lunar units is not as costly as having those faction-wide debuffs. Yeah, so the defenders... Yeah, so we've actually bought more of the pie there. We still occupy like 60-70% of the Senate, and the Equites in the patrician class. Huh. We're now protected now from a civil war for 9 turns. So, that actually wasn't too bad. Yeah, so here are the other government types I was talking about that we could eventually go to. Empire, maybe we'll try and roleplay it around the time period. But the Republic, I'm not too happy. I'm not too unhappy with it. Right, so, as you can see here, they've got 108 influence, 118. So, it's because we won that civil war. We don't have any other nobles here as well. And as we're protected, I'm actually going to try and adopt some family members. I don't know why my... essentially patrician pool is so low. We're going to be able to use Medulinus Emilianus Fullo's wife to bring over generals to the patrician cause. So Dento is going to come over here. I could adopt him into my family line, but I think not, because Quintus Emilianus has a lot of sons, and so will Fullo, so we'll allow them to hold military commands in the future. But for now, bringing over Dento and bringing over Decimus Dento. What a name, that really rolls up the tongue. And Septimus here will bring in away from the nobility and the equite class. And as they're protected, we've still got a cost analysis to bring it off. So we're actually going to further secure our foothold and control of the Senate, as we're still in the 2 consulship since the start of the game. Okay, does Carthage want peace now at all? Oh, they would. Okay. I might accept that. That's going to give us a bit of breathing room. How much will you give me, Carthage? I might accept that, yeah. So that's going to allow us to consolidate Thepos and Carthage and sort of control Sicily, because we had some problems. Well, I'll skip a little bit ahead. Right, guys, it's 265 BC. I've skipped a couple turns ahead, and we're ready to redeploy against Carthage. There's no point of me showing you how I consolidate. So, we currently got Legion 1 here, Apollinaris, and Decimus Dento with the consult. We've got an additional army here as well in Thepos, and we've also got a 4th army here with Rufus. What an unfortunate name, Sextus Rufus. Okay, and we've got another army up in the north here as well with Licinius. So, we currently got 5 armies in operation. So that gave me a little bit of breathing time to consolidate and control Sicily, because we had constant rebellions there. And we'll be able to take now the rest of that African territory. That's what you need to do in DEI. You need to peace out, replenish, repair, build up, convert, then go to war again. Because once you make peace, it actually takes 15 turns, I think, before you lose that non-aggression, sort of that diplomatic penalty. Because we're currently steadfast at the moment. Currently negotiating with Syracuse. That's come through as well. You're always better off to join a current war and then start your own. It also bypasses our trade agreements and good relations with the Numidians. So, let's push further south here. We've got a full navy now of 20, and the Gamantians are sort of hanging out here. So let's move down Quintus Emilianus Pappus, and we'll move down Decimus Dento here as well. As we are in foreign territory, we haven't got access to the plebeian reform principes, but we should be alright, because pushing further south here in Africa, it doesn't actually seem that Carthage has too many forces. They are split in a fair few areas. They've got the African territory, first of all. They've got the Sardinia and Corsican territory. They've got the Iberian, and then they've got the islands spread between out the sort of western Mediterranean, and they even got Tingis as well, so they're quite spread at the moment. Okay, welcome to the top of the turn, winter 264. It doesn't make any difference because we're in the desert. So let's move Quintus. Although he wasn't in charge of starting the conquest of Carthage and is not fullo Africanus, if you will. who's going to help out and supplement, because I think opening up a Gallic front now is not going to work. Okay, so we've taken another territory in Africa here. Once we have the coast, I'll be happy. We're going to have to keep an eye on the Gamantians as well. Oh, we can upgrade our navy. Silver shot, that is. Well, it's actually worth doing that. I don't think we probably can use the port of that. Yeah, because it's tier 3, so we probably can't even build that anyway. So we'll quickly get those upgrades and spend them where we can. But we've got to keep an eye on the Gamantians. And I guess as we're pushing further into Africa, we've got to watch out for Egypt as well. Oh, good. The Gamantians have Serenica. Okay. That's interesting. So they actually fully surround us from the bottom half of the desert and Serenica. From what I can remember, I don't actually think the Romans took the Gamantians out. I think they sort of lived in that territory for quite some time. It's annoying for me because they tend to be quite aggressive against Rome. Okay, let's push now at the top of the turn and finish off this African conquest. So it might have even been a shorter episode anyway if that civil war didn't end up, because we've managed to take this part of North Africa from Carthage to Thapus quite quickly. Dento is actually operating with Africano Legion 5, which is cool. The Gamantians are still trespassing, which I hate. So we'll continue to break down, replenish and repair where we can, and we'll bring in the Latin culture as well. So guys, on that note, it's time to wind things down here. Thank you very much for watching episode 5 of the Total War Rome 2 Emperor Edition DEI Divide et Impera modded campaign. I'll put in the description below the mod if you guys would like to download it and play along with me. I do recommend submods for DEI to sort of choose and pick your particular play style. I use submods that sort of just speed up things more than anything because I'm incredibly busy. I don't have time to have hour-and-a-half long pitched battles sometimes. So that's basically I'm using like a couple mods, and they change and don't get updated half the time, so there's no point in linking them. So I think better off with DEI submods, you're better off just picking and choosing your flavour and taste, because there's a fair few there, official ones, which I do recommend. So when you find DEI on Steam, go look at Dresden's official submod list as well. So, gotta end it here. Thank you very much for watching. In the next episode, I guess we'll try and continue to take out Carthage where we can. I might maybe look towards the Numidian territories once we've converted and controlled Carthage. We could open up that Greek front. I can still never forgive and forget Epirus's invasion of Italy and the men we lost, those damn elephants. We've also potentially got to open up a border with Massalia as well. So the thing is, right, if we declare war upon the Massalia, we could very well be angering it, and so war with the Hellenic world might just break out anyway. So anyway, guys, take care and peace. Unfortunately, guys, it is time to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know in the comment section down below your feedback for the series, and if you would like to see more, that's the best way to ensure more content. Leave a dislike if you're not enjoying the series. Check out my social media links if you want to stay connected with me. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all in the description below. Patreon and merchandise link in the description below, along with the Steam group. Come and join the community on Steam. And on that note, unfortunately, I have to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching once again. Make sure to take care of yourselves. Go out and have a fantastic rest of your day. My name has been Simpzy. Goodbye.